much for that, Mr. Datta. That was a wonderful recap of what we witnessed in this edition of Ideas of India. And as the stage is being set for the next session, ladies and gentlemen, a quick note to thank our sponsors once again. Our partners, Ideas of India, is co-presented by the Adani Group. It is co-powered by Gallant Group of Industries, High Glance Laboratories, Rajesh Masale, Knoll Healthcare. Our building partner is JK Super Cement. Our partners are Sri Leathers, Pulse Candy, Indira Gas, Tata AIG Insurance, PNB MetLife, Relly Spray and Tata Capital. Our logistic partner is APML and our state partners are Government of Goa, Government of Madhya Pradesh and Government of Uttar Pradesh. Our knowledge partner is Sharda University. And Ideas of India is brought to you in association with T2, our digital partner ABP Live, and our outdoor media partner is Outdoor Media Limited. So what do we say? Do we hear it for our friends and supporters one more time? Thank you so much for being a brilliant audience, and I think we're all set now for the finale of Ideas of India 4.0. दोस्तों सालों से दशकों से इंडियन स्पोर्ट वाज रिस्ट्रिक्टेड टू क्रिकेट पर अब दुनिया देश ऑडियंस बदल चुकी है The nation is emerging as a powerhouse across multiple disciplines from badminton to chess to billiards and tennis. We have much more to achieve, but our progress, whether it's at the Asian Games or at the Olympics, proves that we are so hungry to excel in beyond one sport. Now, this transformation is built on the grit, on the vision and relentless pursuit of excellence of sporting legends. Trailblazers who dared to dream beyond convention and have managed to place India on the world stage. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed privileged to be in the company of 4 such titans. And I urge you to show your respect and appreciation with a thunderous applause as we invite them one by one onto the stage. It's brilliant that you're warmed up. Now keep that applause going as I invite Prakash Padukone, the first Indian to win the All England Open in 1980, an accomplishment that changed the course of Indian badminton forever. A very warm welcome, sir. Today, of course, India has multiple shuttlers in the top global rankings. His legacy continues. Very warm welcome, sir. I'd like to invite on stage Vishwanathan Anand, India's first ever Grandmaster in 1988 and a 5-time World Chess Champion whose dominance paved the way for a chess revolution in India. There are over 85 Grandmasters in India now. Warm welcome, sir. Put your hands together for Geet Sethi, a 9-time World Billiards and Snooker champion, proving that excellence isn't defined by mainstream popularity, but by sheer mastery of the craft. His efforts through Olympic gold quest are shaping India's future champions. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Leander Pace, an Olympic medalist, Grand Slam champion and International Tennis Hall of Famer who played for India at 7 Olympic Games, a record for any Indian athlete. There is decades and decades of experience, hard work and excellence on that stage. We are truly privileged. Let's welcome on stage our moderators, Dr. Shashi Tharoor and Chetan Bhagat.
Chetan, what are we doing here? We are not world champions at anything. Yeah?
I know. By the way, there is this, India में 2 तरह की अंग्रेजी होती है. एक शशि थरूर की अंग्रेजी है, एक चेतन भगत की अंग्रेजी है. और आज दोनों साथ में हैं. Very rare.
Let's hear for it. So as we'd agreed, I'll ask each of you a question and then we'll let Chetan grill you and we'll carry on from there. But Prakash, I mean, I sort of first met you, I remember when I was on my way to graduate school in the States and we crossed at Rome airport when you were on your way to go and win another world championship or something way back in 1975. And I have to say, it's been amazing, your journey. In those days, we weren't used to having world champions. And just having you out there was an extraordinary, extraordinary thrill for all of us. What sparked your interest? I mean, this wasn't your dad's profession or your mom's, right? I mean, there was no badminton in the family. How did you become a badminton player? And then a world champ?
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Great privilege and honor to be here. I think before I proceed, I think you need to know a little bit history about how popular the sport was when I took up way back in 1960s. So I started in 1962 when badminton was not very popular, especially in the southern part of India. It was played mainly in the north, north, east and west. Nobody knew what badminton was in the south. There was another sport called ball badminton, which was very popular in the south, played only in India. It's almost extinct now. So that was very popular in all the southern states. So in fact, if you went to any of the southern states and said, do you play badminton? It meant ball badminton. So if you had to specifically say that, do you play shuttle? So when we played, people were asking, do you play shuttle? So then it meant shuttle. And in those days, in the whole of Bangalore, there were only 5 badminton courts, 5 in the whole of Bangalore put together, and out of those 3 were wedding halls. So
your practice went
maybe slightly higher than this. So 6 months in a year, it used to be booked for weddings. So if there were no weddings, then we could play badminton. But so that was how popular the sport was. And I took up the sport. My father was living in Bombay. He moved to Bangalore. And then he started the state association. So he was more of an administrator. So I used to go along with him. And so that's how I got interested in the sport. Initially, absolutely no idea that even whether I would even play for the district or the state. It was more for, I enjoyed playing the sport. So that's how I got started playing. And my father was the initial coach. Later on, just picked up on my own, watching other players because there was no other way of learning. So it was only much later, when I started when I was 7, and when I was about 15, 16, when I won the national championship, that when I, thought of taking it up professionally.
So till then you were just a casual player, you were going to school?
Absolutely, we could play only for 6 months because the other 6 months, so I think the main thing was we had not too many options in those days. I don't think it was just for me, for everybody in the 60s, there were only 2 options. Either you take the option which you have, which is to play for 6 months, or not play at all. So there was no third option of going to another club, another city, another academy. So those choices were not there. So either you take what you had or you sit at home. So you would rather, without complaining, took up whatever was available and enjoyed, whatever facilities were there at that time.
Amazing, amazing start. We'll come back to your journey. Yes. Geet, your own journey was extraordinary. I met you in the context of your humanitarian work, but I'm going to take you back to billiards. Badminton wasn't a popular mass sport. Billiards certainly isn't even today. What brought you to billiards and how did you become so good at it?
So, Prakash started in the 60s, I started in the 70s, and it was, well, there was a Wilson Jones, when you're 13 years old, you kind of don't really, read the newspapers, but there was a Wilson Jones and a Michael Ferreira in the periphery of my vision, but I used to play all sport. I loved sports, so I used to play table tennis, badminton. I was a fairly good badminton player. Not a good thing to say in this stage, but I would play cricket, I would play basketball, and then I got the chance to play billiards. And billiards in those days, in the 70s, you were not allowed into the billiard room if you were not 18 years old. And it was a place, it was always next to the bar in a club. And but